You know, there's something about these 2 million or so people that keep showing up like clockwork, ready to defend every limp, politically bloated mess of a show that's been driven into the ground by the very same ideology they claim is progress. They'll leap in with their Twitter threads and TikTok essays declaring how genius it all is because, get this, they found a line in an old episode from decades ago that vaguely resembles the nonsense being peddled now. They'll post a screen grab, slap on some rainbow-coloured caption like it's always been woke, and call it a day, never once stopping to ask themselves whether that one moment was part of the story or just a passing beat in a larger, well-written arc that didn't screech to a halt every 5 minutes to deliver a smug sermon. That's the thing, isn't it? These people think they've uncovered some secret message in older TV, like they're reading ancient glyphs, except instead of being archaeologists, they're more like ideological conspiracy theorists. See? Doctor Who said women's lib once. That means it was always like this. No, mate, that's called context. And what makes it worse is that they ignore the real craft of those older shows. The nuance, the balance, the ability to touch on social issues without beating the viewer over the head with a rainbow brick and then screaming, "Did you feel something yet?"
Breaking news.
Instead, they treat old progressive moments like receipts to justify whatever brain-dead plot twist, character swap, or fourth-wall breaking identity lecture just aired. It's not clever, it's dishonest. And that's why we're here today. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Daemon, and today we're drawing the line between progressive storytelling that actually meant something and woke storytelling that just wants applause from Twitter. Let's start by being absolutely clear. Progressive issues have always been part of TV. They've been part of stories since long before the term woke started being thrown around like a badge of virtue. Classic Star Trek tackled racism, war, and the Cold War without ever needing to stop and explain the morale of the story like you were in an after-school special. Doctor Who, same thing. It was subtle, it was layered, and it respected the intelligence of its audience. Let's talk examples. Frontier in Space, a John Pertwee story, has Joe Grant speaking up in front of the Draconian Emperor. The court is shocked and the prince demands her silence, only for the emperor to say, "We must respect the customs of our guests, strange though they may be." The suggestion had merit. Later, when the guard ignores her because she's a woman, Joe quips, "It's about time women's lib came to Draconia." A single line, sharp, witty, and gone in a breath. It doesn't hijack the plot, it enhances the world building. The Monster of Peladon, that story's been hilariously misrepresented as woke by modern standards. Some even claim the whole thing is about pronouns because Alpha Centauri is referred to as an it. Never mind that Alpha is a hermaphroditic hexapod alien. What else were they going to say? You ever try to gender a tarantula? You can't until it sheds. So calling an alien it isn't some bold identity statement, it's basic logic. The real progressive moment, Queen Thalira. She's young, she's inexperienced, and despite being monarch, she's clearly not in charge. Because she's just a girl. Sound familiar? The Doctor encourages Sarah Jane to speak to her about women's lib. But again, it's contextual, it's not forced, and it's capped off later at the end with Gebek when Thalira says, "But he is only a minor." Quiet, clever commentary on class and gender. That's storytelling. You want more? The Time Warrior drops a throwaway line, "Women will never be free while there are men in the world." Bang, that's a zinger. But again, it's one beat in a story full of time travel, medieval warfare, and alien tech. These stories didn't revolve around the message. They had something to say, but they didn't stop everything to say it. And remember, Britain was under the rule of Queen Elizabeth at the time. We lived in a matriarchal society. Having a female leader wasn't a shock, it wasn't a novelty, it was just normal life. That's what made those stories so clever. They used allegory, they used subtlety, and they trusted us to pick up on the themes without needing to be told how to feel. Now compare all that with what we get today. Here's a perfect example. In the 60th anniversary special, The Star Beast, we get a line right at the start. "Isn't she beautiful?" Sounds innocent. sweet even, except it's not. It's to drive home the fact about Rose. This moment comes right before the character is dead-named as Jason by passing schoolchildren. The reinforcement of Rose's identity continues. She's beautiful, emotional brakes slammed, plot hasn't even begun. Later, when they encounter the Meep, the whole thing grinds to a halt again for a conversation about its pronouns. This isn't storytelling, it's validation theatre. It's not written to enhance the scene or story. It's there to deliver a message with all the subtlety of a sledgehammer to the balls. And the comparison between Alpha Centauri and Beep the Meep? Laughable. Alpha was an obviously inhuman alien, insectoid, hermaphroditic. The pronoun it made sense in universe. The Meep, on the other hand, is clearly a gerbil, a rodent. If you've ever had pet rodents, you'll know the males aren't exactly hiding anything. It's pretty obvious. And yet we're meant to pause everything to have this discussion with a character who, may I remind you, murders people. Not the best representative for your message, is it? And just in case the audience didn't get it, the show doubles down. Gender is nothing. Reaffirmation after reaffirmation. Because the plot isn't the point anymore. The validation is the point. That's the real difference. Progressive storytelling integrates the issue. It adds depth to the world and the characters. It challenges the audience without insulting their intelligence. It makes the story better. You take it out and something's missing. Woke storytelling inserts the issue like a checklist. It stops the plot to deliver a moral. It assumes the audience is too stupid to think for themselves, and if you remove it, nothing changes. The story still makes sense. Hell, it probably flows better. That's how you know it was tacked on, like a race swap, a gender swap, or even changing the laws of physics just to make a point. Mavity, anyone? So the next time someone screeches that a show has always been woke, remind them of the difference between telling a story and selling an ideology, between Joe Grant standing up in the Emperor's Court and Rose stopping everything to tell us we need to respect the Meep's pronouns, between building a world that reflects the issues of the day and dragging the issues of today into a world that never needed them. Thanks for dropping by the Snake Pit, where we thrive on untapped potential and lost opportunities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where naturally I won't read them. Until next time, stay venomous.